What's up, everyone? So, this topic I'm talking is something really serious, and um, it's been happening for many, many years, many, many centuries, many, many decades. And basically, I'm talking about molestation and rape of younger females, and even males who prey on younger females. Um, so, incident happened with a person that I know, and basically, actually, I know more than one story about this happen. Um, well, the I've this child was a baby. He raised the child from baby up, and found out like when the child was a little bit older that the child wasn't his child. But you raise a child still as your child, and you still take care of that child as your child. Then you turn around and decide to start having sex with the child. I don't understand, I guess, how we've been trying to figure out what what kind of things, basically, what in your mind would make you think that that is not immoral? Why would you not see the immorality in doing such things? It's just like when as I say, well, about as far as males dating younger females. Yeah, she's younger, she can have babies, but if you're like 40 and she's 20 something, and then you expect her to act like she's 40. She's not, because especially if she has no children. She's not on that same level. Excuse me. She's right now trying to live her life. She's trying to enjoy life. You're settling down. So you're not like her dragging you into a nightclub where a bunch of 20-something-year-olds is crazy. You look crazy up in there. You are trying to regain a youth that you already passed. You passed that time. So that's not where you should be. And okay, if you date somebody who's like in their 30s, that's better. But you shouldn't be dating 20-something-year-olds, because they're not going to be they're not where you are. And even one of those who have kids, it's like, when I was in my 20s, I had kids, so, but I was different than a lot of my friends. My friends went out to the club almost every weekend, and they had kids, and they were running to the club. I didn't go to the club like that. Every blue moon, I would go out just to kind of, just get out and have a little fun, like to dance and listen to the music. But for the most part, I stayed home with my kids. A lot of 20-some-year-olds are in the club, and that's that. They think at that age you figure like you're missing something, and that's a lot of times why they're out in the club. They feel like they're missing something. I never felt like I was missing anything, because I already knew that it was the same people every week, same club, same people. So I was like, whatever. But they felt like they were missing something. So I didn't go like that. And that's how typically a lot of 20-some-year-olds are feeling too. And you're 40-something, and you don't hang out, and you don't go out like that. And your ideal of a good time at home is sitting back watching movies, or going to the movies or something like that. Maybe going out to have something to eat, to dinner, whatever. That's not what she doesn't mind doing that, but she don't want to do that regularly. She's young. She's trying to enjoy life. She's trying to live. She's trying to just have fun and do this. You're past to having fun. You already had all your fun. Your fun is over. So now you're trying to build, and she's not really ready for that right now. So, I just think that I don't understand how, I guess, men could, because I won't entertain younger males. I've been approached by younger males in my 30s, because I'm 50, and I've been approached by 30-something-year-olds, and I won't entertain them, because where they are, is not where I'm at. Okay, I will not entertain them because I know mentally they're not where I'm at the time. All they're thinking at me like, okay, well she's you know she's an older woman and this and that and experienced, and that's what they're looking at. And I'm not. I'm looking at them like, you're a younger male, you still sagging, you still hanging in the streets. Because at 30 something, they're about as bad as the 20 something year olds. Trust me, many of them are so immature, and I don't want to deal with that immaturity, and I don't want to deal with your baby mama drama and all your little baby mamas and children running around. There's no children up in here, so I'm not trying to be babysitting or watching little Johnny. I don't mind. I wouldn't mind seeing your kid. I don't have anything against men with children, but that's really not my goal. My goal is not to raise your child. They have a mother. That's her job. That's not my job. Anyway, back to what I was saying about men preying on younger females. I don't agree with the process, or even, like I said, having sex with your daughter. What would drive a man? You have to be sick to even look at the woman, the child, and see a woman in her. You've watched her grow. You've supposed to be nurturing her. And then how can you nurture someone and then turn right back around? But then I had to think about it. It's an obsession. And I thought about the Oedipus theory. And basically, what it was is basically the little boy, the theory says it's like basically when a child is in love with his mother, he's obsessed with his mother. And he's in love with her. And he becomes so obsessed and so in love with his mother that he cannot. His father becomes the enemy. And so he has disdain towards his father for basically trying to be intimate with mom. He won't allow dad to kiss mom. He won't allow dad to come near mom, touch mom. He sleeps in between them so dad can't get close to mom. His jealousy is so deep. And I find that happens also not just with males, but and I can't think of the name of the theory. I got to do some research on that. I can't remember the name. But I mean, these thoughts are just coming to my head. The mother has the same kind of obsession with her son, where she's basically so in love with her son that or obsessed with her son that he cannot date other females because she doesn't see anything. She sees nothing but flaws in other females, and no one's good enough for him. And all she does is brag and brag and brag. He does this, he does that, and blah blah blah, because she's obsessed. And so when any other female tries to date other females, she always finds flaw, and she's like, nope, he's mine, basically, and she won't let the females in her son's life because he belongs to her. And the same thing as like when males have daughters. I think that, and I said this to one of my coworkers, and I was telling him about how a lot of times men, I think when men end up molesting their daughters or having sex with their daughters, it's because they basically have an obsession. Because, I think that's why I thought about the same thing with like Donald Trump. You know how he talks about his daughter, how he says that, Ivanka is this, and then, he kisses his daughter, and, he talking about how sexy she is, and she's a sweet piece of ass, or whatever he said something about her. And it becomes an obsession. You look at your daughter, the love you have for a child, and it becomes an obsession. And that obsession becomes sexual. Now, you may not mean it for it to become sexual, but it does become sexual. Because obsession becomes sex. It becomes a sexual feeling. It's more driven. It drives more of that. The obsession drives more of that sexual arousal. And you may not think in your mind, oh, I can't, but then you probably think some people fight that off and be like, no, I just love my child, and I'm just, I just want them to have the best or whatever. But other ones, that go too far, and their obsession leads them on to a sexual attraction toward a child. So, and that's a lot of times, I believe, how a lot of times that many times that men end up having sexual relations with their daughters because of the obsessions they have with them. and they don't like other males coming around them, and they won't let them date other males. No, you aren't dating, because he's trying to keep her for himself. Now, I'm not saying that some men don't try to protect their daughter and keep them from having sex so that they won't get pregnant, but I think that a lot of times males are obsessed with their daughters, and you have to dang on freaking separate yourself. And that's how a lot of times they end up messing with their daughters, because they have an obsession. It's not, it's you love them, yes, but you're also obsessed. And at that point, you should try to, the mom, like I said to them, there's a time in the life of a girl and a boy when their parents, certain parents are important in the child's life. When a young female gets into puberty, at this time, I mean, she still needs her father, but she needs the guidance of her mother. And her guidance from her mother is basically teaching her how to be a woman. Basically how to act like a young lady, what a woman goes through, how to basically handle herself as a woman, as a young woman. Basically how to, just take care of her body and everything. Those are times when a woman is teaching her about hygiene, her skin, emotional issues and things like that, hormones, and telling her even about sex and having children and things like that. She's explaining those things about what her responsibilities would be, and those are the times at that age was when mothers are typically more involved in a daughter's life. And there's nothing wrong with a father being involved, but a father should not be so heavily involved in a daughter's life at this time. It should be kind of stand off a little bit, because mom should be involved in that more so, not dad. It becomes an obsession, and this obsession becomes sexual if men are too involved in their daughter's life. And you cannot, there's nothing wrong with being a doting father, but you have to back up a little bit, because you will cross lines. You will cross lines, and it'll become obsession. So you have to not the only way you cannot do that is you have to back up and not cross those lines of obsession. How you do that? You have to realize that she is your daughter. She is not your property, and you should allow her to live her life, make mistakes, and grow. You have to do that. You have to let them live their life, make mistakes, and grow. That's the only way. And it's the same thing with boys. And some mothers who are single parents raising sons around here. And I believe this is a lot of times the reason why some of these males have so many feminine characteristics, because their mother instilled that in them. They don't get the masculine part of their characteristics from dad, because there's no dad around. So the only thing they pick up is a mother's feminine characteristics. And so I think that a lot of times women also, you need to find a mentor for your sons, so that he can actually get the correct masculine characteristics that he needs, so that he can lead his household and take care of his family. But I don't know. I had issues, I guess. I took issue with men who decided they're going to cross the line and be immoral and have sex with their daughters or a young girl. Just even if they're not your daughter. And I don't know if maybe it's a dominance thing. Maybe it's, I don't know why you would even want to do that. She's a child. That should never make you feel good. You should never feel happy about what you've done. And there should be nothing that I think that well, the law should have no limit with you. I think that at that point, certain things that persons do, I think the law should allow parents to handle you. I think the parents should handle you at that point. Whatever, the mother, it was a mother and a father, or it was the father, I think the mother's family and his family handle him good too. But, that's that would be in, that would just be right. But that's in my world. Um, I don't know. Tell me what you think about that. As far as um, men, younger females. I mean, what age? At what age is your cutoff? What's your cutoff age? How low will you go? What's never too young for you? You know, back in the day, men used to take girls when they were 11, 12 years old, 10, and take them, and that's just, how are you 30 something with a 10-year-old, 11-year-old? You know, Color Purple, I think Celie was what, 16 when Mister took her, and he was like freaking 30 some years old. He was like 30. He was like 30, I think, and she was only like 16 or something like that. She was very young. She was very young. She was only like 16. She just came of age. Her father had been freaking having sex with her ever since, and he had been freaking, well, the stepfather. But he even, I mean, she suffered a lot from the hands of a man who didn't give a freak about her, and he wanted her. She wasn't his daughter, but he never even saw her as that. He just saw her as a sex object. And I guess that's why I'm trying to figure out, what's your limit? What drives a man to do that? And if it's your daughter, why would you ever think that maybe it could be my daughter one day? Why would you do that? Why would you do that to another man's daughter, but you wouldn't want them to do it to your very own? And then, if you are doing it to your own daughter, what things in your mind will cause you to do such commit such a heinous crime? That is just, I mean, I guess I'm torn up about it, because the person, I just would never have thought they would do it. And I guess I'm just torn up about it. But I guess in this day and age, the devil is busy. And you just gotta stay prayed up, people. You just gotta stay prayed up. Pray for your children. You gotta watch your children. You can't trust anybody, family members, friends, nobody, no one. You got only person you need to trust is you trust yourself with your children, and sometimes you get to look at the other people, because you make sure that even your spouses are doing them right. Because in this day and age, children are not safe. They're not safe. They're prey. They're prey. As my mama said. You guys have any comments on this, please share. You know, I try to answer all my comments. I'm just torn up about the whole situation, and I'm saddened. I'm heartbroken, and I don't know. All right, bye.